We've just had a verdict here in courtroom 6 of the Central Criminal Court in the last few minutes. The jurors returned to the courtroom at 12:25, having spent 9 hours and 28 minutes considering a verdict in this case. It was their 4th day of deliberations, and they have found Richard Satchwell guilty of the murder of his wife Tina Satchwell in Cork in 2017. They heard over the course of this trial that it was Richard Satchwell who reported his wife missing. Tina went missing in March 2017 and her remains were later found at the home she shared with her husband Richard on Grattan Street in Youghal. When investigators found her decomposed body, Richard Satchwell changed his story. He admitted to Gardaí that he had buried Tina under the stairs of their home. He had claimed self-defence. He claimed that she flew at him with the chisel and that she died during the course of a struggle with the belt of her dressing gown. But the prosecution had said that his account was laden with discrepancies and had more holes in it than a block of Swiss cheese. They had 3 verdicts to consider in this case. They could find him guilty of murder, not guilty of murder, guilty of manslaughter, or they could find him not guilty on the basis of self-defence. But they returned that guilty verdict, as I said, on the 4th day of deliberations, and there were very emotional scenes in court. Members of Tina Satchwell's family broke down in tears as they heard the verdict being read out. They have, of course, waited a long time to get justice in this case. It is 8 years since Tina disappeared without a trace, and they did not find her body until 2023, 2 years later, and they have had to endure, of course, a criminal trial, and hearing all the details of what happened to Tina thrashed out over the course of 4 weeks of evidence, a further 4 days in order to get a verdict. There were also members of the jury who broke down in tears and who could be seen visibly emotional and upset. Mr. Justice Paul McDermott, in the absence of the jury during the trial, described the actions of Richard Satchwell as breathtaking. The way he had concealed his wife's body and covered up what happened to Tina in the aftermath of her disappearance. He remanded the defendant in custody. Richard Satchwell now faces the life sentence for murder, and that sentence hearing will take place here at the Central Criminal Court on Wednesday. We do expect to hear some reaction from Tina's family, and we will, of course, bring you that throughout the day.